Good afternoon, everyone. So we are very happy to close this afternoon. We thank the organizers of the Digital First, of course, and we are honored to be here. So we will talk to finish this day about an essential topics for us for future marketing. It's attribution marketing, and we will see these topics through our common clients Weight Watchers. So as you've seen, we are two speakers, Régis Patrice from Mediascale.
Hello.
And I am Marion Min from Kwanko. So just to begin, a very quick presentation about our business so you know us better.
Yeah, so who is Mediascale? Mediascale is part of the Servicecom group, and we offer real-time advertising solutions that includes programmatic buying, data science, business intelligence, and that sort of stuff.
And Kwanko, so it's a 360 degrees partner for digital campaigns. We help our clients to increase their sales, to develop their leads of prospect, to bring qualified traffic to their sites, and to develop also drive-to-store action in order to develop online and offline actions. So, well, to begin, some classical things, but I have a really bad news. Your clients is no more like this. It was easiest, but it's not the case. They are really more and more like this, so really ultra-connected people. And they will be more and more like this, so really to have online and offline action, drive-to-store, mobile connected, and omni-channels oriented. So what is omni-channel? Just to make a common sense for introduction about attribution marketing. Well, you know that the customer journey is not more linear, of course. There is a big variety of touch points. Omni-channel and cross-device is a standard. And for example, for travel, people are going to 7 different sites before purchase, and there is 69 days before the first click and the last click to the purchase. So there is a long time, and they are going to see a big variety of sites, of vouchers, of comparison sites, of Facebook. You all know that very well because we all do the same. So again, in order to explain why attribution marketing is very important, let's say that 65% of consumers begin the path on mobile. It's a very important, really, numbers, because unfortunately in Belgium there is not so many advertisers who told us, yeah, I'm fully ready for mobile, come on, let's go for it. It's true that still 61% of people continue the path in order to purchase on laptop, so it's still very important, but it really cross-device, which is important in your strategy, and only 4% continue on tablet.
Well, and as you know, most of you, when you look at a product or a service, you begin to search on a search engine, of course, like Google or Bing. As you maybe know, more than 80% of the shoppers are conducting online research before they buy a product. They go on forums, on review websites, and so more. And 36% of them spend more than 30 minutes on comparison websites to find the best price. So, how are optimizing the agencies, the campaigns, and also the advertisers, of course? They look at the results per channel. That's to say, when they do a search campaign in AdWords, and they do display and social media, they only look at the results by channel. They look, what is my acquisition cost for display, for example? What are the volumes? But they don't look at the whole customer journey.
And it's an overall.
Yeah, and as you see, there are a lot of touch points before a client signs up for a product, and certainly for Weight Watchers, but imagine you are surfing you're mostly a woman, of course. There are not a lot of men who are subscribing to the Weight Watchers program. But when you see a banner for Weight Watchers, you click on it. Most likely of the time, you're not going to convert directly. It's something you have to think about it and to take the decision, yes, I want to lose some weight. So it will take some time before you make a conversion.
But all touch points and channels involved in the customer journey are interconnected. So that's why clearly we want you to take into account all these touch points. And what is the most efficient way to allocate the right commission to the right partner? Because they will all help you finally to go to the purchase. Let's have a very small talk about theoretical. It's not a very historical, but as you remember well, some years ago, a lot of actors in the market were in an attribution about the first click. So the first touch point was the most important. Nowadays, 80% of the market is on a last click model logical. If we are going to a contribution logical, there is also two different ways, again, very theoretical. We will see after that it was not really our choice. We create something. So the linear points consider that all touch points have the same importance, the same added value. The U model consider that the first click, and the last click are more important, but everyone between two has also an importance. But are this model really fair, Regis?
Well, before I answer this question, I will first give you a little bit history about Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers before 2011, that was that. Only meetings, you had to go there, with that people, sorry. Starting from 2011, Weight Watchers launched his online products with his online app on the smartphone. So they generated a lot of sales in 2012. It was a booming year because, of course, all the people who already know our Weight Watchers and who have a smartphone or an internet connection, they say, oh yeah, I will follow it online. So it was very easy to sell the product. But what we see on an international level, that's the stock quote of Weight Watchers. So it's a worldwide effect. You see that the numbers are decreasing year after year. It's becoming more and more difficult to gain new customers. Also, for another reason, because the competition is much and much stronger. You find now a lot of applications who can help you to lose weight. So it's becoming a really, really difficult business. So what we do? Well, we had to find a solution to stop that huge decrease in the sales amount. So we're starting to optimize not per channel, but on the overall customer journey. That is SEO, SEA, display advertising, affiliate marketing, of course. We optimized on all the channels, and we started that end of 2015. So what are the results and what's the effect of such a strategy? Well, these are the numbers of display since 2013. And if I look at these numbers and I show that your marketing director of a brand, he will just say,
you are
guys,
fired.
fired that agency. They're doing a shit job. And yeah, it can feel like that because when you look at the red line, acquisition cost is going much higher than in the past, and the sales volume are going down. But if you look at the results of display, you see that, not on display, of the overall sales, you can see that the first interaction of all the sales that happen on the Weight Watchers website or on the app are done via display. The first interaction, the first contact that the client have with the brand is display. So if you cut off that channel, well, it's clear for me you will lose a huge amount of sales. And why is that? Because you have to create awareness. if you don't have the awareness with the competition that is on the market now, well, people will go to another product and will not choose for Weight Watchers. But let's have a look at the results of search. These are the results of AdWords. There we see an opposite effect. We see the bad numbers for display, but the acquisition cost in search has never been so low, even in the fantastic years that Weight Watchers knew in the past. And the sales volumes are going higher compared to last year, and the year is not finished yet. And if we take the overall results of all the channels, it's very interesting to see that there also we gain more sales volume. There is a stop in the decrease of sales, what's a good news. But the media spendings of Weight Watchers are 40% less comparing to last year for better results. And also the acquisition cost, of course, has also decreased to 42%. So our meaning is last click is Paleolithic. If you only optimize on last click, you don't take in account all what a customer do before he's going to convert on your website. So you have to change that because clearly it's not a good analysis of the return on investment of your campaigns.
And you can also take bad decision.
Yeah,
for example, cut the display. Well, what we are saying is that we faced a problem with a program. We have worked together for many years, during 5 years now, and I hope there will be many years. But in 2014, we faced clearly this problem of increasing in sales. So we had to create a new model to renew our approach. And that's what we have done together, also with the clients. Of course, it was really a team job. And what we have done inside our program of affiliation, it's also to create an attribution model. This name is multi-origin. What we do, it implies a deep and dedicated made-to-measure analyze and optimization inside all channels of the programs. So we will classify the different sources per added value, and that is very important. All the sources were necessary. The problem was the good estimation of their added value. So concretely, we faced the same problem with display that we had with emailing. Emailing is also a very good network and typology of publishers in order to develop their awareness to buy something. But as Regis said, you don't decide after just clicking on an email to purchase Weight Watchers services. You have to think about it. You have to, oh, maybe I will see in some blogs, in some comparison site, and that's normally. So that's why we had some typology that we really want to increase the weight, the added value, and other who were very often closing the deal, like vouchers, so it was disequilibrated. Concretely, how does it work? What's happened in terms of context is that one program cannot be the same for many years. You have always to optimize it, to be creative, and to analyze your results with a big volume of information. We are talking about big data, and that's what we have done. If we were facing the problem, it was very simple to say, oh, okay, just cut off the vouchers, cut off the promotional codes. We only want blogs and things like that. But the problem is that sales were decreasing and decreasing because the clients decide to do that. So since that time, we create the multi-origin program, and we had it, I will show you, a clear weight on different typologies. So here you have different typologies, and we put a clear, positive, and controlled weight in all typologies. What it has given us, we have created a program with all the typology we can use. So it was really very a big network. That was missing in our program. That is the first point. And the second point, it's that we think about the program and we say, okay, but if we want to have an attribution model, we have to see the overall channels and we have to see inside the channels, but we have also to see the participation of each network during the journey of the customers. That's why finally we create two payouts for our network. One for only participative and the other one for the real conversion. This payout is also divided between all contributors of our networks. So here, for example, you have an example of the conversion sales. Inside our network only, we have, in average, 3 to 4 contributors. So imagine in the overall purchase journey how many contributors we have, and all are important. Here you have the participation sales. So what is the participation sales? Kwanko was in the first or in the middle part of the customer journey. We haven't done the closing deal, but we participate to bring the clients there. That's why we also allocate a little payout for this participation. That's very new. It was the first time that we create this double payout.
I think we are the only one in Belgium to do that.
Yeah, maybe. So, finally, what does it bring you? It brings you a boost of attractiveness in the program because publishers think also that is a fair model. So they are okay with this way of doing that. It's very important because if publishers are not okay or think that your model isn't fair, they don't participate to your campaign. So you cannot have any sales. And that was one of our challenges, to bring again attractiveness to the program. Why it was finally a good solution? Because it was a risk. Never, we have said before, we have never done it before. No one told us that is maybe the solution, you know? This number, the ratio between attributed sales and participative sales. Finally, for 2 participative from our network, we have 1 sales. So this ratio is very interesting. Well, finally, what we want to tell you today, it's clearly that you can do it. It's not so difficult. And we want clearly to bring you some tips. One of the most important tips that we can bring you is that we haven't talked about it, but I think that the situation that we are to in this talks is a proof. A good attribution model is a question of confidence. It's a question of communication, and it's a question of transparency between all actors and all contributors, the advertiser, its media agency, and the different networks participating to the program. Why is it important? Because it's a question of human decision at the end. In last month's e-consultancy reveals that in UK, more than 30% of advertisers are not confident to their media agency decision and impartiality concerning attribution marketing. So with this ratio, you see very well that the question is human. It's a question of communication. It will need, of course, and that is true, some evolution in your business. Some evolution in terms of reportings, in terms of analyze, because there is a big change that with a last click model, your analyze of ROI is biased, actually. And it will maybe demand some development in terms of competencies, but it's easy to do. It's really not complicated. If you are clear marketers, you can have the right vision and the clear vision on these problems. And of course, as explained, be creative. you can create your own formula in terms of attribution marketing. Maybe the double payout we have done, it's not the good version for you, it's not the good formula, we don't know. But don't hesitate to test, and if you have adopt, you can also make another testing and you will optimize. In our case, I think that in 2017, we will still change the model, we will still optimize our model. Nothing is stopped. We will continue to analyze and to see how we can do better and how we can have a cost per acquisition lower for more efficiency and for more volumes in terms of sales.
Well, and to conclude, there are more and more touch points, and it becomes more and more difficult to analyze the complete customer journey with the change of devices and that sort of thing. So the key now in marketing is really advanced analytics and data science. Don't forget it, and please take it into account. You must know one thing, it's that our little Belgium is now
it's now the initiator of maybe the changing worldwide for Weight Watchers.
Yeah, because for Weight Watchers, for example, we are on the radar of international because they are looking at what we're doing in Belgium, and that's very interesting because there is maybe a possibility that they will apply the same strategy worldwide. We don't know, but we hope it will happen.
But it's very encouraging for nowadays. So if you have maybe some question, or if you want to talk with us about maybe a future attribution model, feel free. We will be very happy to answer your question. Thank you very much. And if you have some question, we're still here.
Thank you.